This week on Hermitcraft. It's seriously not that big a deal. Welcome to the Hermitcraft Recap, like pirate radio, but for Minecraft. I'm your host Pixel Riffs, our writer is ZloyXP, and if you see any of our old recap episodes popping up in your sub boxes, we're sorry about that. We've been trying to figure out a way to sneak the old videos onto this channel behind YouTube's back, and we're trying a couple of tricks to get them not to appear in sub feeds. The leave it unlisted for a week trick kind of backfired on us, but we'll sort out a solution for that later. Pinky promise. And with that out of the way, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week.
Mumbo Cactoni, is this going to be a good episode of Hermitcraft? Yes, it is. Okay, continue watching.
Starting with Wells Knight and his castle walls behind castle walls behind castle walls. Yo dog indeed. To protect his keep from any more convexing, Wells installs some military barracks and fortifies some intersections of his domain.
The only entrance into this structure is either up on the walls or within the castle walls. So if the enemies get to the barracks, at that point, it's kind of already over. if that makes sense, they don't really need to do a whole lot here to defend.
Now, while this might be a great defense against imaginary barbarians, the true enemy of the state probably won't be much impressed by it, because, you see, Vexes have rockets. In his own city, Scar has raised a futuristic airport, now with a dispatch tower commanding the rockets to turn away and not burn the trees Scar has planted around the landing paths. Additionally, you can see an actual rocket mid-takeoff, blazing into the sky on a fiery trail. Okay, we can buy that this is supposed to be a far-out future, but it'll take some serious suspension of disbelief.
That's the future of rockets, and that's why those are built in that particular way. Another great comment was, Scar, there's trees at the end of your runway. And I agree. I totally agree. There's also skyscrapers all around, and I just kind of feel like, you know what? You gotta live a little dangerously. Living in a safe environment just gets boring and stale.
The pedestrians of Scar's city have been greeted to a new treat too. The central crosswalk now has the ability to suddenly dive into the ground and swap itself for Scar's Twitch logo. For any traffic accidents, you can thank Cub and his Splash of Colour service, commissioned last week specifically for this project.
Wow, and it's back. The road is back to how it was. That is so cool, Cub fan.
Oh, but Cub fan is not done splashing all over the place. The Guardian Temple floor has been successfully covered in quality gnome vomit. On the plus side, Cub's rap career is taking off.
Punch out the sand and put down the torches. Punch out the sand, put down the torches. Sand, torch, sand, torch, sand, torch, and then we get to watch all the sand fall down.
In more of a why department, Cub follows up on that llama coaster thing he promised. You can now ride a llama or rent a llama or suffocate your face into blocks while riding a llama at the low price of 1 diamond or right-clicking on the gate.
Totally impenetrable gate, can't get through it unless you right-click, which is not allowed. So instead, to get through it, you'll see here the sign. You have to make it a diamond. Once you toss in your diamond, the gate opens.
Plus, Cub provides an advanced map room for the community area. Meanwhile, at his own base, it turns out that Jarvis has become self-aware, got really into watching Azuma, and has false symmetry somewhere inside him.
I've had some reports, some people were suggesting in the comments that false symmetry was actually stuck inside of Jarvis, which I can neither confirm nor deny. Given his answer, this is false last episode, so...
Well, that can't be right, because false symmetry is very much out at her mushroom island, which you can't even tell is one anymore. Well, not really. You'd be too distracted by the giant hole in the middle of it. To prevent herself from falling into it too much, False covers it with a white glass dome, and even implements glass walls on the catwalk around it, with the plans to put some live floaty ghasts inside once the shell is done. What we can't really report on are the many secret doors she made this week, or got other people to make for her also. One is at the False Hub to NHO tunnel intersection in the Nether with 2 Ender Bros guarding the very obvious button activating it, and the other 2 are at the Black Market, delivered by Mumbo's door store, also hooked up to very obvious levers.
Interesting. Right, where's the where did he say the lever is? Oh my goodness, talk about a secret door. Oh, look at it. It's vanished. That's right, we can oh dude, he's even fit it in this little area here, which I was going to block up anyway because I knew that he was going to have to use that. Oh man, Okay, well, GG, dude. Right.
What we can
That's pretty
report,
awesome.
though, is her
Oh,
reaction
my
to seeing
goodness.
Mumbo without
How
his
cool
mustache.
are those? That's hilarious, that is. He looks like a completely different person. Wait, has he also changed his suit?
More on that story later. But speaking of doing damage to your face, Joe Hills decides to decorate a wall with his on the way back from Cubfan's base. At least he manages to bring back the supplies he's borrowed to work on the Ravenloft Ravine. Opting for the trench run method of demolition, Joe uses the force of about 5 stacks of TNT to blast out the ground around his castle. Along the way, he manages to unearth a few zombie spawners which don't cause him any trouble.
Okay, core concept. This is a better setup than it was. Whoa, where did you come from? Dang it, now I'm on fire. This is not a better idea. I regret every piece of this.
But then he's right back to work redesigning the mechanism that draws the drawbridge. Rendog has plans for a more permanent bridge, but first he's got to terraform his side of the island to match up with the elevation on Iskal's side, which is not the first time he's brought himself down to Iskal's level, but he seems determined to dig even lower, with a storage module for the cactus and netherwort farms descending into the earth, and Ren himself descending into madness while he figures out how to set up all those hoppers.
No, that was a mistake. Those hoppers can't actually go. Those need to carry on, but these ones can get out of here. So let's just clear all of this away for now. Mistakes have been made. Oops. I'll fix that in a moment. Let's just get rid of that for now, I suppose. Jeez, what have I actually done here? This is not going well, is it?
At least his latest strip mining sessions have led to him ticking off more items for his double chest quest. Storage for the storage god, blocks for the block throne.
Let's go through what I have managed to collect. A double chest of polished diorite, polished granite, polished andesite, so that's a pretty good haul out of one bacon mine. Also got a double chest of cobblestone walls.
More paths are going in at TFC's fort, which inevitably means more stuff needs to be built around them.
Oh, for crying out loud.
After reconfiguring the entrances to the wall space so there's a door in each tower, he builds a structure to draw water out of the ground, because hey, you might as well.
Yeah.
After all the frustrations TFC has had with villagers this season, he'd probably approve of Iskal's plans to relocate his villager breeder into a giant volcano. But since it's taking up space under Candyland Hill and doesn't seem to be working anymore, it might be a better location for a redesign. And the candy vibes are spreading, since Iskal seems pretty committed to the giant cookie on that side of his base, even finishing a cocoa bean farm so he can keep producing brown materials. Although, like the rest of Hermitcraft, it only works with 100% efficiency when Mumbo isn't online.
I did do it though, I swear. Does it have to do with when I start the cycle? Okay, now I think the efficiency of this thing is actually very good. I say that and then I start talking and it doesn't work.
Iskal also takes up the opportunity to gather up all the black wool from the Enderman prank Azuma left at his island forever ago, and finally prank him back, leaving a giant Enderman head with a familiar mustache floating in the center of Azuma's base. We'll give you 3 guesses what its name is, and the first 2 are free.
These are important things, by the way. If you think these are just silly things, well, think again. Okay? All of these things are important. Huh? What is going on, James? That's his voice. But there we have it. Another Mumbo is born.
And finally, speaking of mustaches, somebody left theirs at home this week. Since Mumbo is an honourable chap and pays his debts, he's going for 10 episodes without a mustache.
It's horrifying. I'd never noticed how low down my face. Like, look how tiny my chin is. I've got the smallest chin on the planet. I just don't even know if I can look at that anymore. It's disgusting. Here goes. I've got my helmet on for you. It's not a good look. Okay.
But at least he's proved having a mustache isn't directly linked to redstone abilities, as this week he works out a storage system for his enormous cactus farm and fits 2 nifty sliding doors for False Symmetry's black market, the payment for which is the usual round of parkour or 9 million diamonds deal.
Good luck from Mumbo. Now, I'm not going to give a time limit on this one because I feel like 45 seconds it made things quite difficult, but I would quite like to see False try and take it on. That being said, obviously if she wants to pay 9 million diamonds, then I will appreciate that as well.
It's a wonder nobody's taken the second option yet. I'm rubbish at parkour. After getting a mild case of Nether Hub envy from looking at False and Cub's portal networks, Mumbo scraps the end of his Nether tunnel and risks a series of ghast attacks in order to create a scale model of his base in the Nether, complete with glassy water and sea lanterns aplenty, blocks which are of course well known for their strong blast resistance. So, at least looking like Mr. Potato Head with his facial hair removed also doesn't stop him from building. And that's just about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is Pixel Riffs. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
In the town area, but the reason that we're going to the town area is because, well, I need to go underneath here and check out the... What on earth is that noise?